Now, from the world of unrelenting combat, this is 10 Count by Deor. Tonight, we bring you two warriors of the power slap. First, Pono, the Hawaiian Assassin, a force of precision and power. And Jackie, the hybrid Cataline, speed and strength in one lethal package. This is where the stories hit as hard as the strikes. 10 Count by Deor. Let's go!
Awesome.
Perfect.
Then we come in.
Yeah.
All right, where am I sitting in the middle?
Yeah.
Wherever you like, man.
Next
All
to
right.
Camilo so you can slap him again.
That's
Just
on
in
that
case.
right here.
Yeah.
What's
Another
on?
one?
Other cheese.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, of
I
course.
appreciate it once again.
Definitely.
Love it. I mean, it's amazing. I think we have a lot to talk about. I mean, I know you have a bout coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how are you preparing for it? I mean, just tell us a little bit about that, how you feel.
Yeah.
That's-
So, we're going against number one in the world, Dorian Perez, and he's a local from San Diego, and I'm living in San Diego as well. So, it's good to kind of have that bout happen between the same city, right? So it's
Oh,
like, okay, well,
man.
who represents San Diego better?
Oh, shit.
So at this moment, I'm just kind of getting more into. I was already dialing into the mindset side of it, where you just gotta take some things out, just because of the fact that we know how Dorian is. He has like all these little antics. He likes to. He feeds off of the fear or energy like that. So immediately, I just got to start working on the mindset, being able to control everything. Make sure that when I walk out there, I already know what I'm doing. Focused just on that soul only, just going out there and be able to perform exactly like how I practice at home. And the physical side of it was all this time previous, building up. And I just had a match against Cooper Housley back in December 6th, and
We were there live.
that was a
Amazing.
solid one for me, and it couldn't have went any more perfect. So now this time around, it's more of making sure that we know our opponent, we know how to read this guy, and making sure we study the target. So
I didn't see a flinch there.
thank you.
Thank
you.
I didn't see it there, but I mean, I did saw your reaction afterwards. I mean, I think it just got you a little bit more pissed off, and that's when you came back and did your thing, man. That was amazing. We were there, it was just insane. That's why I keep saying, if you guys have the opportunity to go live,
Absolutely do it.
crazy. Like TV it's one thing, but when you're there live, totally different story. It's
I agree.
insane. So congratulations on that. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Is there like a rivalry between you and Dorian? Like, I'm San Diego's best? Oh. Is there like a rivalry between you and Dorian? Like, I'm San Diego's best, or I'm better than you, or stuff like that?
Not really. So Dorian competed on the same Power Slap 10 card, and he was the main event against the Bell, which is the current champion. So while I was there, I'm now on his team. He's on the blue squad, facing off against the Bell. So I was able to kind of like sit there and kind of watch him, how he was, and the way that he just kind of builds himself up to getting ready and prepared for what he's about to do, right? Go against the champion of the world. And at that moment, we had those like little conversations about like, oh, okay, well, what's going to be different when you go out there and you challenge the champion, right? And having those conversations kind of opened up that doorway of more of like seeing how he really how he is and how he performs out there, and the way he is in the background area too. So it's like, okay, well,
Yeah,
now
it really gave you a behind-the-scenes look of the way that he gets ready to go up on stage.
Yes.
Yeah.
So having that inside knowledge about that, and then just kind of like, we had already had that agreement of like, oh, well, I know that you're in the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's going to be us sooner or later. I mean,
Right.
it's not a big, the rankings only go from 1 to 10.
Right.
And once you're in the rankings like that, it's already like,
Number
it's
versus
set.
number.
It's set.
Yeah.
So sooner or later, you're going to have to battle this guy. Sooner or later, he's going to have to be the one facing you. So at that moment, it was more of just like, okay, well, we came to that agreement, and less of words, less of talking, but more of like, okay, I know that I know that I have to come back after you sooner or later, especially if you're ranked number one. It's like he basically becomes that gatekeeper. He's the guy that's just kind of holding it down, and whoever's trying to make their way up, it's his job to
take him
push
out.
everybody back down to the
To
level where
maintain that level he's on.
and that's it, and try to clean up at least between the first, second, and third person kind of lined up ready for the title. So he's the gatekeeper now, and with Cooper, going into that match, I was feeling more of like, I saw his previous fight, and I knew that he had power, and by him knocking out that person, okay, well, we can't take him lightly,
Right.
so we gotta come with full force. What does the preparation look like? Well, okay, well, the general fitness side of it, then going out there and specifically training that motion, that movement, the technique, all the way down to just traveling up the kinetic chain, knowing what you're doing with your feet, knowing how you're stacking over joints, knowing that the shift and the movement, because the technique I practice, it incorporates a lean.
Okay.
So not so much of like when everybody says lean, it's like you're kind of leaning forward or leaning or like deep to the side.
Yeah.
But it's less than that. It's more of real tight, staying down the center line, and it's the adjustment from your arm to your shoulder to your chest, and just almost like a basic reach of like, okay, well, if I draw this back, what does my position look like?
Right.
Yeah.
So being at that, knowing that I was facing Cooper like that, and then kind of being at the point where, okay, well, we can't take him lightly, and then going out there, being able to eat the 2 slaps that, because I lost the coin toss.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, here it goes. He's got to hit me.
Yeah.
And let's see what it looks like. And that first crack, as soon as I was able to eat that, I knew already. I was like, okay, now we know what his power seems
Power
like.
level and all that.
That's it. So then getting called for the flinch and then going back in.
Exactly.
It is what it is. They'll
You
battle
don't
it
ever
as
know
best.
what the refs are seeing or looking at, and
Yeah.
it
Is
just
there like a
happens
moment,
sometimes.
like in this for both of you? Is there like a moment the coin toss? Say the coin toss doesn't go in your favor. Is there something like you guys both like?
Oh yeah.
I mean, the coin
Oh,
toss
yeah.
is a huge part of power slapping, obviously, because with my first one, I won the coin toss, and I knocked her out in the first slap. So
Yeah.
it's like it could really determine who wins or loses if you have the right power to knock somebody out like that. It could be done in one.
Yeah.
So it definitely plays a factor.
We remember that
Does.
when you knocked her out. She was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They start doing all the edits.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god. But going back to your I just saw the way you were just all the way back, and I mean, it was insane. It
And-
was insane.
The slap. Everybody looks at it as like, okay, well, you're just going out there and you're delivering a slap.
Yeah.
It's
And
more
then
than like-
when you start to find more the high IQ type of striker, somebody that really thinks about every little thing, and then you start breaking it down, it's like, okay, well, instead of being it where it's that full momentum, okay, I'm just going out there, I'm putting my hand out, I'm coming back, and I'm going to slap.
Right.
Well, I start thinking about, is my angle right? Is my foot in the right place? And my distance between the target, right? Like, I know at full extension how I'm going to hit him, whether I have that other inch and a half play, right? Because at that moment,
Right.
when I extend,
It's longer.
Yeah.
it's longer.
Yeah.
So it might end up to hitting him in the club, So
Right.
now you want to try to like dial that in. So I take it where, if a normal regular person would come in and just kind of look at it like at the overall. I break those things down by little intricate movements.
Yeah, that's kind of how I did it. I just
Intricate
went in
movements.
and just did like, okay, I'm swinging my arm.
Right, right.
When I first started, so it's
Yep.
So
definitely-
before on your last match, before you got the foul, did you knew you were gonna go in one? Because you seemed like you were just like pissed off, and even the commenter was like, he's talking to the Hawaiian gods and whatnot, and then you're like, you step up and you're like, on one, boom, and he's just out. Did you know that before? Like, was that the plan the
Yeah.
whole time? Oh.
Yeah, so everything that you guys saw from beginning to end, I'm talking about from the walkout, the performance, everything. It's rehearsed in my backyard.
Wow.
1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. My wife always is like, "What are you doing out there?" She thinks I'm
even
crazy.
literally right down to the music. Like
Yeah.
me and him had this conversation, and it's like I wait till a certain part of the song that they're playing for me to walk out to even start walking.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot that goes into it for us.
Yeah. So with that going on one, I've already implemented that in my style and my technique before we even got onto power slap. My brother also fights in power slap. He's the chief. Kelly Kanikoa. So that's my blood brother.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
And he, you know, when we first started thinking about Power Slap and what it would look like for us, we had those conversations of how do we progress in the sport, not just kind of going out there and being that striker, but how do we really progress? Well, it's by teaching something that we've been practicing all this time. So, you know, I was able to show my brother, hey, you know what, this is how the technique should look like. And so when he went out there, he was able to compete on Power Slap 7, and he went against a guy, Joseph Landman, which he was already in a ranked position, and I mean, got disqualified, but his hit was just insane, and everybody was like, wow, this is what it looks like right here, right? Somebody that can execute power, precision, and everything else all in one alignment. So right there, I was like, okay, well, this is what works. That lean on one is just exactly what needs to happen every single time. So it was already preset in my mind for all that time, and then I was able to experience it by, you know, getting my opportunity being on the very first, well, not the very first, but the season 3 Road to the Title. And that opened up a lot of doors. Because now I'm living in a house with 40 other guys, training, competing, got to whack them. Sooner or later, you're going to have to hit them. And that was the step into the realm of Power Slap and being able to lock in something where the style and technique stays and it sticks with us. So
How was
sorry
to interrupt. How was the experience in the house like?
Different.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never, so, you know, I've had times where, you know, competed for like kickboxing, right? And this is kind of like that backyard, the smokers in the gym type of stuff. It's not really where I was on a stage or competing in a ring or anything like that. And from there, transitioning into Muay Thai. So we've kind of always had that combat sports background, and you know, going into the house, keeping that mindset in that, okay, well, you know, this might be just like, because the UFC has the Ultimate Fighter show, right? And it's like, okay, well, it's kind of the way that they do it in there. Well, there's a lot of drama on TV shows, right? So there's going to be people fighting, there's going to be people arguing, you know.
Lots of drinking.
They definitely hold a lot of liquor in that house.
Oh, wow.
So, I never had that type of experience or exposure until the house, right? Being in front of a camera, being able to, you know, really just kind of like embrace all of those things that are happening, right? It's like, oh, it's all brand new to us. So I'm like a kid in the candy store. Okay, oh, let's do this and let's do that. But it was a very, well, you guys, you know, if you guys pay attention and watch the season, you know, I went through a bunch of adverse moments on the season. You know, I ended up breaking my finger, and that was by nobody else's fault but mine, right? And I went out there and I, you know, during the combine, I got a little bit too excited with the whole neck stress test and me having a high score. So I get up and here's my time to shine, right? And show off. So I'm looking at every camera and I'm like, oh yeah, boom. And I look down and this thing is just hanging. So I'm already set back by, now I don't have my main, I don't have my main weapon. And this is my sword. So, and I never practiced with the left hand. So now you're talking about 4 days, 2 days of really just kind of like dialing back and making sure nobody sees the hand. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning dishes, and it's just like all of a sudden a producer walks in and says, hey, let me see your hand real quick. And I show him, and this thing is top to bottom purple. He's like, yep, that's broken. We're gonna take you out of here and get you looked at, and then after that, possibly you're just gonna end up going home. So they had the travel lady come in the car with me, and we went all the way to the hospital, to the ER. They checked everything, scanned everything up, and it's like, yep, this is it. It's like, well, I'll get your paperwork ready. And I'm like, are you serious? It's like, all this for nothing?
Oh man.
No
Have
way.
another hand.
No way. I'm not leaving like that. So I'm like, hey, dude, I got my left hand. You hit with that? I was like, yeah.
I do now.
I was lying, you know, but it's like, yeah, of course I do. And for the next 4 days, I end up trying to train this thing up, because this thing has, regardless, right? We train our body to, for the left, for the right, doesn't matter, right? Or just overall, especially if, you know, you're into MMA and everything else, it's like, you got to be, you know, versatile with everything. And at that moment, it was like, okay, well, I got 4 days.
You better figure it out.
This thing is a firecracker. I mean, it's wild in a sense. It has no accuracy, but it has all the power. So now it's dialing in and being able to do that. And if you watch the first match that I have against Devin Jenkins,
He still wobbled him.
but the first initial whack was me, all that building myself up to be able to strike him, and then I go and I club him.
Yeah.
You know, it goes too far back
Yeah.
because I don't know distance. I don't know how to gauge at that moment, right? And it's my very first time. It's cameras rolling. It's like, dude, you gotta. It's a performance. You know, like you have to dial in. And once I take that next hit from him, you know, obviously he eats that one. He looks at me, and I'm like, ooh, okay, time to take one. You know, and then he puts it on me, and I'm not gonna lie. It had some force behind that thing. I mean, he definitely understood the biomechanics part of it, where the coiling core and really just locking here and sending it forward. Right. So it did give me a lot of like that, not so much of like visual, but internal. Like my jaw was shifted for a little bit, and then but I'm Islander. I just get crazy, angry inside, and just like, oh, okay. It's like you think you got me. I'll be right back. And I went to chalk up. And as soon as I come back out, then I understood that the distance part of it was less of the problem, was more of making sure I stay square and how I execute the lean. Because I'm now doing it where I lean forward, I'm too deep. I'm gonna end up whacking him too deep. Right. So now I need to do it where I stay short and I bring the shoulder back to be able to get that alignment right. And as soon as I felt it lock here, I knew already it was time to go. Just send it. Lean back and crack and put him out.
If that same scenario, which I hope it doesn't happen again, but if it were to happen again, do you feel more like at ease that you'll be able to perform a little bit easier and not with so much nerves anymore?
Yes. Yeah. So even with this last match on December 6th with Cooper Housley, it was, proven is that if you stay focused, if you keep your mind on what you need to do out there, and you just don't let all the other external things happen around you, and it's going to happen, but as long as you just stay aligned with what you need to do, and then you just remember that the performance that you go and put out there, you have to, and like I was telling Jackie the last time that we spoke, is that you have to do a checklist. You have to. It's key in this sport. Is you have to go out there and, is my feet proper? Okay. Are these things stacked? Yep, they are. Okay. Are the hips aligned good? Good. Solid. And you can go and slowly just take everything out that you thought was going to be a mistake. Boom, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. So now by the time you already are about to deliver the slap, you've already put everything on the table. There's no excuses. I went through my checklist already. There's nothing else that I have to worry about except making sure I stay on point with the accuracy part. Because even with a lot of power, you can send it high, you can send it low. There's multiple things that could happen that just change the trajectory of where the slap is going to go. So you just have to dial it right back in. So staying focused out there is key. And now I feel so much more comfortable than I did the first time, because I knew that being on the season was a lot of nerves, a lot of nerves, and an emotional play too. There's other people in there. You start caring. It's like you got 40, 50 fighters. You're living together. I start caring about certain people. Like, oh, okay, well, I want to see this person do good, so I start training them a lot different. Oh, okay, well, now, oh, your body's hurt. Let me work on you. And I have that little stuff where it's like that Hawaiian healing massage. I'm your massage therapist. Let me fix you up. And then sooner or later I realize, dang, I have invested a lot of time into everybody else and not really thinking about how am I supposed to recover? What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to react to all these things? So, but it's definitely a big learning experience for me to be able to see all those things now and then look back and okay, now everything from this point on is easy. It shouldn't be hard.
Since that happened, are you training with your left?
Oh yeah.
So that's, I'm pretty sure it's
because the caliber of people now, right? So now I'm not in the beginner stages where I'm fighting, what we would consider like the amateurs. I know I have ranked people, and as we progress up that ranking, they're only going to get harder and harder and tougher. So now, what happens when I hit somebody and this thing goes out? Well, I gotta have that other one. I gotta be ready with this one. So I train exactly whatever I do with my right hand, I do with my left. And it's just part of the process.
That's an option for us up there too. Like, say he swings with his right and he breaks his hand swinging, he can switch to his left. He can pull out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
And people have. But
Yeah, knowing
Ideally-
knowing you won't.
ideally, you want
I
to
ain't
just,
going
okay,
nowhere.
let me switch over to the other hand, you know?
Right.
So
Do
it's
you
good
have the
to
same
do
thing? Can you hit with both hands?
I'm actually
Yeah.
left-handed.
Oh wow.
And not a lot of people know that because when I fight, I stand orthodox. And
Mhm.
the last couple of slaps, I've slapped with my right hand because the way that I wrestled for 20 years was left foot forward because I'm left-handed. So I collar tied with my left.
Mhm.
So standing this way, swinging this way, it just feels more natural.
Okay.
But this is actually my power hand.
Oh wow.
So I have to figure out how to like make this comfortable, you know,
Oh,
because there's
I
definitely more
remember.
power in this one, but it's like you said, the accuracy. This is wild. I don't know
Wild.
where the hell it's gonna land.
If you're already basically dazing people with your right,
Mhm.
and you said your left is your stronger hand,
Yeah.
just imagine the damage you're gonna cause with your left hand.
Yeah.
Once you basically
Once I perfect
that
the
maneuver
technique,
and everything,
yeah.
that technique, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think we can try it out with you again.
Some
I'm
practice
okay,
swings
thank
here
you.
and there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let
no,
me
it's
get some
alright.
practice swings in.
I hope I didn't get you upset today.
That's
No, but-
awesome. So we actually got a little something for you guys. Do you wanna
Yes.
get it?
So I was watching. I mean, we were all watching all the other podcasts, and on every single podcast, they kind of, it's kind of like the same thing with all of them. So we wanted to give you guys a little something that's a little bit different, hopefully. So
Okay.
let me go get it.
If you guys
This
don't
is
like
exciting.
it, if you
Let's
guys,
go.
If you don't like it, yeah.
Presence is always a good thing.
you guys can slap him if you guys
He was
don't
even
like
willing to take a slap. He said,
We gotta sign something for that one right there. You know, it's like we don't like it. You gotta take one.
Yeah.
You gotta take one.
it. You gotta take one.
30% at least.
So I'm an artist.
Holy
And I
shit.
mean-
No
Oh my
way.
God.
Got some paintings.
One of one.
Wow.
One
Way.
of one.
These are one-of-ones.
Yeah, I told him.
Dang, that's really
dude,
good,
I
dude.
said you
I
gotta get her
love
hair.
it.
Damn,
You
I love
gotta
it.
get her hair.
Look.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
dude, it's perfect.
It's amazing.
Ooh,
Look
look
at
at
that. You got the
Dang.
right moment too.
Dang, yeah, this is a good one.
This is that part right after I ended up whacking him. I said,
Yeah.
okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I went to watch your whole match, and I was like, because I was looking for poses and all that stuff, and I was like, I don't know, even for you, I was like, I gotta find something.
right one.
I was gonna do the one where you're like, not today, bitch.
Oh,
Yeah,
But it was so
That
fast.
would've been a
It
good
was
one.
so fast, and I was like, oh, I couldn't
He
stop it in
couldn't
the
stop
right
it in time, yeah.
time.
Right.
So I did you walking in,
Yeah.
and then him. I saw how pumped he was at the end.
Yeah,
that I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, dude, this
Dang,
has
those are
to
dope.
be.
His.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was like, okay, this is it, and I was like trying to clip or stop it right at the
The
exact
right
point.
time. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That way I could start painting. Yeah, so I did it all.
Dang,
last
this
night
is the
too.
best
That's
present
a-
I've ever
Right?
gotten. This is dope.
This is a perfect catch right here, because this moment right here, I'm gonna be honest with you. This moment right here was the silence,
Yeah.
the silencing of what like you don't know how it gets crazy because of like the viral part of it, right? The social media
Yeah.
side of it. We see comments all day. Oh yeah, well Coop is gonna knock this guy out and all these things, right?
Yeah.
And you gotta think, right?
Right.
As the striker, I'm watching all this stuff and I'm looking at the comments and I'm trying my best not to be that guy of like, oh yeah,
I
let me
respond
answer back,
sometimes.
right?
I
Let me
respond
respond.
sometimes.
So I'm holding all this in, right?
Yeah.
And this moment right here,
This was the shut the
is
fuck up moment.
exactly was the oh yeah, I told you
Yeah.
shut up, boom, and put it
Yeah.
up to God, because that's what it is. You know, that
Yeah.
this whole motion right here is literally part of the Assassin's, like what I call the Assassin's Creed, is that
Yeah.
is like I'm an assassin,
Yeah.
but I'm silenced by God, and I do that motion every
Yeah.
single. You see it every single time.
Yeah.
Right? Hit
Yeah.
this, and that,
Yeah.
because God really does. You know,
Yeah.
he really puts that silencer on me
Yeah.
to that all the way to that moment right there, where it's like, okay, well, you know, we're human some way
Yeah.
somehow,
Yeah.
so we gotta come out like that, right?
Yeah, these are amazing.
I
Can you
love
guys
it.
act like you guys didn't like it so you can slap him?
How could you not like that? I mean,
You just slapped
I
him.
love
He
it.
wants everybody to get slapped.
except for himself. He doesn't know he's slapped.
He'll be like, hold on, let me call my wife over here real quick.
Yeah,
She
these
said
are
no to me
amazing.
the other day.
I appreciate this, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Our pleasure.
It was clean.
Yeah.
If I would have got this and then saw the little tattoo, like the tattoo drawings in there too, I would have been like, wow, this guy's an artist. Look at that.
Yeah,
I love this. It's an
Thank you.
amazing moment,
this is going on my wall.
right?
Awesome. I'm glad you liked it. Like I was telling them that every time I make a piece, it's nerve wracking because I don't know if someone else already gave you something, or if you're gonna
I've
look
never
at it.
gotten.
No, this is the first.
Like
Or-
a heartfelt hand
Oh,
painted
nice.
thing. Like I've never.
Yeah, or if you're gonna look at it and be like, who is this?
Yeah.
Like, this is not me,
Yeah.
Right,
So
right.
I'm like, oh, dude. And
No, dude, this is like hair and everything to a T.
No, this is me.
Yeah.
100%.
Glad,
There's no doubt about this one right here.
Yeah,
Like the
that's
kill in the eyes too. Look, dude. I was
really
like,
good.
Yeah. Oh,
Thank
this is
you.
awesome, man. I get to like you captured this moment right here, and I mean, we got pictures and all the other stuff, but
Yeah.
I mean, because you painted it.
Yeah, it's
You know
something
what I mean?
different.
It's just
yeah.
something different, man. You know, it comes from the heart.
Thank
You can tell.
Appreciate it.
I love it.
He was doing it at 4 a.m. in the morning. Huh?
Yeah,
Right?
I finished it this morning at 4 a.m.
Dang,
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
I
like
it.
yesterday. No, was it yesterday when Isaiah came?
No,
Yeah.
the day before you.
The day before.
Wednesday, yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah, so I
Wednesday.
did one for him as well,
Uh
and then his took a little bit longer. So I was like,
He's
oh
got
my
no
God.
hair. What do you mean it took long?
All the
He's got
tattoos.
all the
He
tattoos.
got all the
He has
tattoos.
so many
Luckily, you didn't have to
tattoos.
do mine.
Yeah, so I was like, oh my God, why does this guy have so many tattoos? The neck,
Yeah, he does.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh my, now I'm behind. So I was like, okay, I have to knock both of them out at the same time.
Yeah.
And last night I was just like searching for like poses and everything. And I was like, whatever, I'm going to go look.
Then you
Dude.
did this in one.
Yeah.
Both of these in
Yeah,
one.
Yeah, so I will paint
Dang.
one, let it sit, dry, and then I'll jump on the other one. Let it sit, dry. I'll jump on
Jump
the other
back.
one.
Yeah.
You are
And I was just going
awesome.
back and
Good
forth.
thing I kept my
Awesome.
shirt on. Because if I would have took my shirt off, you'd have been like, "Damn, I'm not gonna be able to get this picture to him for like
Yeah.
for weeks because of all the
It's all
intricate
these
tattoos I gotta do it
yeah,
in."
Yeah,
I love it.
Thanks.
I love it. You're awesome, man.
yeah. No
Yeah.
problem.
I
An
love
honor. I'm glad you guys liked it.
Yeah,
Yep,
we'll
that's
definitely have to take
amazing.
a picture with you with them.
Yes,
Definitely, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Even the little water stuff too. Look at this.
I know.
This is amazing.
Yeah, so for yours, I try to do kind of like a, watery
More
vibe.
Hawaiian, yeah.
Yeah.
And then for you, I was trying to do like America, like
Yeah.
red and blue. I was gonna put in white in there, but I feel like it would take too much.
Yeah.
Away
The
from
red
the
and blue
painting.
is perfect for me. My hair's either red or blue.
Yeah, and so that too, I was like,
Yeah.
she's always doing either
Yeah.
red or blue. So
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's you for sure.
Yeah.
Have the monster logo on the shirt. Too.
Yeah, dude,
I'm
you
glad
got
you guys,
You
you
got
guys
it.
at least know who's who.
Yeah.
They didn't like it. Stand up.
I'm gonna put it right here.
20%. 20%. You just gotta take a 20%. Let me put this
There
over
you
here
go,
too. Yeah,
definitely.
right in front. Yeah,
That would be
Yeah.
sick.
yeah. That's gonna
Yeah.
be it. That's gonna be a tell you what,
Eventually, it'll be in my
Yeah,
hand.
It's Fontaine Blue, so it's still a good property.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Solid space. So it's gonna be an amazing one to have. I just like how like Power Slap is just kind of it's in that growing stage, and they're continuously getting better and better and better with all the events that they put on, and even the Abu Dhabi and the Saudi Arabia. They really cater to the strikers when it came
Yeah.
to
They were both really good shows.
taking them out. Riding doom buggy, go in the dooms
We
and
rode
just ride all the
camels.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's like you get to do all these amazing things, and it's like it's that one time experience of like, okay, well, you guys enjoy, just have
Right.
fun out there, go
Yeah.
do what you
Embrace
gotta do,
it.
because
Embrace it.
pretty soon you're gonna end up slapping somebody, right? So it's like they know what it is. So it's great that Power Slap has been able to really give us a good standing when it's like coming to events, like even Power Slap 10.
Right.
I mean, you guys were there.
Yeah.
It's like the excitement in the crowd.
Oh
and
my God, it's
I
insane.
mean, at that moment when I'm walking out, I can see, but I really can't because it's more of like
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
here,
and the
I'm
lights are
tunnel.
really
Oh,
bright.
yeah.
But I mean, at one point in time, my wife was like, "Hey, dude, everybody was like standing up when all that stuff was happening. Like they were locked in with you. Like when you came out and you did all your things." And I was like, "Really?" It's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
It's like, and then when you executed that slap,
That room
it's
was
like
on fire.
everybody was going crazy, and I
It
was
was
like,
on
"Oh
fire.
man."
The cool
it's
thing
like, that's a
too
good-
is that because it's Dana White and the notoriety that he has and all of these people that know him,
yeah,
a lot of famous people come.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
definitely.
for us as like we're normal people.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like to us we're normal people, and like to have Tom Brady and Marshawn Lynch and all of these people
Absolutely.
there to watch you.
yeah,
It's a
insane.
super cool experience.
yeah.
You guys get those starstruck moments, or?
I did with Marshawn Lynch.
Right.
I'm a Raider fan.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, my wife has conditioned me a little bit. She's a veteran in the UFC industry,
Yeah.
so being around like Dominic Cruz and Phil Davis and just like having bigger names. So I kind of got conditioned to, being around people. But I mean,
Yeah.
I still have my moments where it's
Right,
like Alex Pereira, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is the dude that is. He's like, he's a heavyweight, bro. Like, I could probably compete against this guy, maybe.
Yeah, when we were in Saudi and MVP fought on that same card, so everybody was like, I had already met him. I kind of did they were trying to cut in front of me for his photo shoot for 8.
Right.
They're like, hey, he's on a schedule. I was like, I'm on a schedule too. And he was standing there, and he's like, oh, he was super nice guy. Like, he didn't want to cut in front of me, but his people were like, hey, he's got to go first. And I was like, okay, if you go first, like, you have to take pictures with me. So, like, we did a photo shoot together in there. I had my power slap. He had his UFC. So, but when we were there in Saudi Arabia, everybody's like, oh my God, it's MVP. This guy can't walk around without people, like, taking pictures with him. And so it's just cool to be in that atmosphere as normal people,
Yeah. Yeah, that's the truth.
No, and honestly, I think everyone that we've met, and including you guys, so humble, you know, down to earth, and I think that's super important. You know, and it's just you guys taking the time to be here. I mean, it's to us, we're so grateful.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, like sometimes these guys and myself, we like Star Trek. I'm like, Chavez, it's like, we kind of want to keep it cool, but then it's like, damn, like,
You can't hold it
can't-
back.
yeah.
It's like it's there.
You gotta act cool, and then
It's like act normal.
Yeah.
But you're like trying not to
But
stare at them.
you know they're not gonna ask you for a picture, so you got
You have to, yeah.
So it's like, but yeah, those are the cool things about what we do. I mean, once we start building that relationship, I think that's when everything it's just a game changer.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of like the relationship that we have. I mean, it's amazing, and I love that, and we just love protecting our fighters, which we're about to go ahead and actually do a mouthpiece for you too. So
Nice.
I know, I'm
we're
so
gonna
excited.
take this
He's
into
gonna have a
account.
good
I'm
one.
excited too.
Just go all out, whatever you want. Just I don't know if you already thought about what you want in your mouthpiece, but just go all out.
Okay.
Let us know what you want, and we'll have it
Put
ready.
it on there.
Let's do
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll definitely have it ready before. When do you leave to Vegas? actually?
March 3rd.
March 3rd. That's
March
on
3rd,
the
Monday.
Even if it's not ready by
Well, we're gonna
then,
be in-
I'm driving out on the 5th.
Okay, because I know we're gonna be in Vegas on the 6th.
Oh, that works
deliver.
too.
So we might deliver it in Vegas.
Oh,
just
yeah.
because we want to make sure that that the fit is good, kind of like what we do with
Yeah.
you. Make sure that
Yeah.
there's no. I mean, we want you to kind of like just focus 100% on your opponent instead of your mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically what we want to go ahead and deliver every single time we give a mouthpiece.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
So we'll go.
I've
ahead
always
and
had the
just-
best mouthpieces for sure.
Thank you. That's
I've been the
amazing.
For the most part, I was the only power slapper that had your guys' mouthpiece
Yeah.
for a little while.
That's true.
So everybody's like, "Oh, where'd you get that mouthpiece?" Because they were giving them boiling bites, and they're like back there putting it in
Oh,
hot
my
water and
gosh.
shit. It was terrible. I was like, "Oh God, I would never wear that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they brought out boiling bites on season
They
3,
did.
and I was like, boiling bites?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I could have just
crazy.
brought my own mouthpiece. You know what I'm saying? So at that moment, I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
you know what kind of show this is gonna be,
Yeah.
right? Just guys not even having any kind of secure
Yeah.
lock on their jaw. It's just gonna be it's worse because you got a lot of shit talkers, so
Yeah.
they end up like bobbing like this, but the mouthpiece is still moving inside of their mouth. And I was like, okay, guy. Woo.
Like, I know where to hit you.
Yeah. Just make them talk a little bit more. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, no, and believe it or not, it just having a good mouthpiece, it makes a difference.
It does.
I mean, it's
100%.
just, don't let me lie, but it's just the way it feels. I think it's.
Yeah.
I mean, I do a little bit of boxing too, but
Mhm.
I mean that's the reason why I kind of put myself in the athlete's shoes, and then I know what they're looking for, and this is what why we do the way we do our mouthpieces, so you guys can have full protection. So
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm excited to just take your impression and start on your mouthpiece.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be a game changer.
It's gonna be awesome.
Trust me.
I mean, I'm that because so even with the last mouthpiece that they had, it's obviously through Power Slap, right? They do like the whole entire thing where okay, well, what do you want? Customize on your stuff. So I put on my mouthpiece I had hashtag Lean on One Nation all the way across the mouthpiece, right? So it's like okay, well, I'm definitely taking this thing out and putting it everywhere, right? I'm just like holding it like this and like,
Yeah.
you see? I'll clean it up. You see it again? Here you go.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's gonna be amazing to be able to have one of your guys' custom mouthpieces
Thank
and
you.
be able to go out there and represent it well.
Thank you for the opportunity. I mean, we're so excited to just get it done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so important, and I know that at this stage of competition, I mean, boiling bites. I mean,
It's ridiculous.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous. It is. I mean,
and I mean, believe it or not, we've dealt with so many champions that they still
Had a
were
shitty-
bowling and bites.
Yeah.
And they try our stuff and they're like, oh shit, like,
Yeah.
where were you guys all this time?
yeah.
Yeah.
Here.
Right.
But yeah, it's so important. So
Yeah.
so important. So we can't wait.
That's right. Safety first.
Yeah, definitely.
Safety
Gotta
first.
protect the money makers.
And if you, I mean, it's huge in actual like the bracing and the delivery of
It
the
is.
slap too,
Right.
Because we bite down,
because the
Right.
clinch.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're biting down on the mouthpiece as
and
you,
it's flat on the bottom.
it gives
Right.
you it gives you more power.
Right.
Like that bite. I mean, nobody thinks about it like that, but it's like that bite when you are swinging your hand. This
Right.
lockdown, while I'm pushing, is what It's like there's percentages of power
absorbs
in
it
everything.
better.
Yeah, and it's
It like
solid.
increases that power.
It does.
pop.
It does by biting down on something like that, right? You having something completely locked down, and instead of it being where it's kind of loose or fidgety, and having that solid bite down causes that extra like 5%.
little,
I break everything down in percentages.
Yeah,
so
no,
it's
it's
like
good.
the wrist movement is like 10%. The arm is like 10 or 15%. So everything is broken down in percentage wise, and like that thing, the mouthpiece plays a big part in holding that power, power generation, being able to drive through is because you're thinking about locking here and sending. So
And on
It's a
top of
big
that
part.
too, a lot of people don't realize that we're all trying to slap each other and knock each other out, but the other person has to defend. Like
Right.
there's like the defense is a huge part of it, and the
Mhm.
mouthpiece, having a good mouthpiece, and that's why when you do mine, I get it a little bit deeper than my MMA one, a little bit thicker. Like I'm just standing there, I don't really need to breathe in it. I need to protect my
Right.
teeth.
yeah,
So there's a lot of things that go into it, and the mouthpiece is one of them.
huge part.
So thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
And thank you once again for giving us the opportunity. I mean, it's just amazing.
I have a question. So you said about percentages. Does it go all the way down into like your shoes, like the type of
Oh,
shoe that you're
100%.
wearing?
Don't you even
Don't.
start.
Listen,
Don't
the
you
shoe
even
thing is like a huge thing for him. Oh God.
You know what? This is it right here. I'll give it away. I'll give it away.
He
for this
doesn't
one.
tell people.
I don't tell everybody.
Oh, sorry.
So no, but it's a good question. Good
It
question.
is a good question.
Yes, it does. It's
Wow.
down. It's down to even just the slight angling, because in the shoe, you have the opportunity to be able to angle your feet a little bit.
Oh, wow.
It shifts and moves in the shoe.
Right.
Not all shoes are going to be completely tight to your foot.
Right.
So having a little bit of an edge, kind of okay. I
Bring
know
it
that it's coming
up
from this
or
side.
this
Right.
way,
I can
yeah.
edge my feet in the shoe. The shoe stays straight.
Oh, wow.
You can't tell that it shifts or moves in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
But inside the shoe, my feet look like that,
Oh, wow.
and I'm locked into the shoe. So that was originally how that started, was learning how to lock my feet into place, so that way I have that ability to be able to deliver the same power,
Yeah.
boom, and hit people with it. But now, right, it's transitioned into, well, I need something with more of stability and more of an angle to be able to withstand a lot of these hits, because now as we're moving up along the chain,
Right.
you got people that deliver way more power than the originals, right? So now I use Olympic lifters.
Oh wow.
So stuff that you would use in the gym to squat, like
Right.
that's the key. And I use a specific shoe. I use the I don't know how to pronounce it right, but it's the Roma Leos,
Nikes?
the 4s.
Yeah.
Nothing else. The 5s, the 2, whatever. It's the 4s, because that series of shoe, they created a different lift in the heel.
Yeah,
And
he
it's
told me
more
about that, and I
angled
was like,
it's-
"That's not
it's
going to go with
higher.
my outfit. I can't wear that."
It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't look good with any outfit, right? And when I go up there, they're like, if you know about weightlifting shoes,
You know those shoes.
they're like,
yeah.
dude, what is he doing? And I started to see comments like that, and I knew already. I was like, oh, somebody caught it.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people pay attention. Like if you got somebody that's really paying attention to shoes, they're looking for, man, she got custom shoes.
Yeah. I
Oh
always
wow,
like
look, it's her
custom
face
shoes.
painted on the
Right.
side and all these other things, right? And I'm like, okay, well, those things are good, but I look for everything to maximize performance.
Yeah.
That's the key. Maximize performance. And that's how you maximize performance right there. It's the small little things like
Yeah.
the mouthpiece,
Yeah.
how it sets, how it settles. If you have like a power grip to it, the way you bite down on it, it just, those things play into what happens up here. The shoes is the things that play down there.
So do you look at your opponent's shoes when you go up?
Oh yeah, of course.
You look at their shoes and they're like, all right, I got
But
you
this,
right there.
but with this sport, almost everybody wears your Nike style shoe, flat bottoms, and
More realistic.
and just so that way you can understand, like, okay, well, if I have flat bottoms, that means I'm going to be more stable to the ground,
Yeah.
right? So okay, cool. Now you understand that you're going to have to be flat to the ground,
Right.
But then I know my mind, I'm crazy with it. You know, I'm like a mad scientist with a lot of the stuff that I do, even with the technique and everything else. So I'm already thinking, it's like, well, how do I get the most out of this? I gotta start looking at different shoes. I can't wear the same exact shoes that everybody else is wearing, right? It's like, okay, I'm gonna wear flat, and I don't feel comfortable wearing flat shoes. So I'm like, oh, okay, time to start taking the next step, thinking out of the box. And I'm like, well, those shoes have an angle to them. So now in my defense, as I'm standing there, those things push me forward.
That's amazing.
So now I'm in it. And it takes some steel ones to be like, you're putting yourself, you thought you were already forward, you're putting yourself more in the line of danger, right? It's like, well, I'm all the way in it, guy. And it just takes a different type of mindset when you go out there and you're thinking about how far you're leaning forward, right? Because even with the podium and everything else, it's like, well, this dude's like this close to me.
Yeah.
Like when he steps back, he's going to have a perfect range, perfect angle, perfect whatever. You know, it's like, it just depends on his distance and how he does it. So now I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, well, got to commit to what it is, right? It's like, and this, mind you, I didn't practice taking hits with the shoes on or delivering hits with the shoes on.
Right.
I just put them on and I wore them. So I'll do my routine in the middle of the night, and I would wear them and I'll just walk around with them. And I just put on the music and I would step, and just try to feel what it feels like to wear the shoe and to move it around like that, instead of being more in competition. So when you see me up there against Cooper, that's my first time ever experiencing that shoe in competition base. Like, it's leaning me forward. Okay, does that feel secure? Okay, that does actually feel a little bit more secure than what I thought it was. And I mean, you're talking about milliseconds of thinking.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like this.
It is super fast.
And that's huge in this sport too, is that if you got to have on-spot decision making,
Right.
you don't have that on-spot decision making, potentially costs you your jaw just because of that. So I think about it like, okay, well, I got to think about how I'm going to brace. I think about how I'm holding it behind my back. I think about the angle of where I'm going already. And all this is happening in like
How much you can tuck your
hey,
chin without the ref.
right.
Right.
He's like, hey, what are you going on? Right on 3.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is like seconds, right?
Yeah,
He's
very
about to
fast.
hit you. And I'm in my head, okay, yep, this is good, that's good. So I implement the checklist, whether it's offense, whether it's defense.
Wow.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. So that way you don't have to go back and be like, well, did I do
I missed
did
a
I,
step.
Yes,
Yeah.
did I do this? And take your time, you know, even though he's pressuring, you got to go out there and you got to take your time, be patient about what you're doing out there, because the person that's overthinking and moves too fast and does all those things, it's probably, you're not going to have a good time out there, you know. It's
Yeah.
like, 1, you're stressed about what's going on, and 2, you're about to get whacked in the
And
face.
the hard
you
thing
know?
with
So it's
that is like, because I've been training with him this week, so the hard thing with that is like, you get up there and the refs are like fucking rushing you. It seems like, you know, they're trying to like
Right.
Yeah.
Get it
and
going.
so
Yeah.
people that don't take that time and like, hey, I'm the one doing this job, you know, like I don't care if you're rushing me.
That's it.
They are forced, and then you can see it in the slap.
Right.
So I kind of felt a little bit rushed in my last one, but just training with him and kind of getting that different mindset, like it definitely plays a different kind of factor.
Yeah, because I see a lot of them were barefooted at some point,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah,
Barefoot.
yeah. My brother did Power Slap 11 barefooted,
Yeah.
but that was a funny story on his end too, because
Yeah.
we
He got
we-
dropped and he's
we
like, where
see-
am I shooting?
we see him come out with no shoes
No shoes.
with no
He
shoes
walks
on, and
up
I'm
onto
like,
the stage, no shoes.
and I'm thinking, I was like, wow, this guy really went Hawaiian on us. He really went out there with no shoes. He said, man, this guy's one-upping me every single time, you know, whether it's me like this. I was thinking, like, it's my brother, you know, so it's like, oh, he went out, yeah, right? He went out there with a real Hawaiian in him, you know? And then when I called him after the whole match is done, and I'm talking to him, and I was like, hey, what made you decide to go out there barefooted? Was it the roots? It was like that culture? And he's like, no, I forgot my damn shoes at the hotel. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, bro. And he's like, no, for real. It's
And
like,
so like we walk around with slides. We go wherever. But we can't wear them on stage. You can't wear sandals.
Right.
So that's probably all he had, and he just.
yeah. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, bro. And he's like, no, man, I wish I had a better story, but I forgot my shoes, and all I had was slides, and they wasn't gonna let me wear slides out there, so I have to walk barefooted.
Yeah.
And it worked in his favor.
It did.
It did, because watching his performance from his other fights, and then because everybody's different. People can operate with the shoes on. People can do it with the shoes off. And there's been a few strikers that have chosen to not wear shoes. Yeah. And you know, if you rewatch their fights, it didn't work in their benefit. Right. You know, so and then you look at this guy. He's got size 13 feet, but he's got the eagle claw talons. You know, it's like it's a wide range. I'm like, oh yeah, he's definitely gripped to the ground. He's not going anywhere. You could call those hands. He's got them, bro. They just stuck to the ground. So I already knew. I was like, okay, well, he's locked in. It's canvas. Yeah. It's canvas.
It is.
So you have the ability to be able to grip because of the individual toes and everything else. You can scoop into it and lock into it. So, I mean. It's like he was practicing that his whole life somehow, some way, right?
Right. Man, I wish I would have just let my nails grow.
That's what I was thinking. That was my second thought was, man, I hope this guy got a freaking pedicure. I hope he did a pedicure before he went out there. And it's like I was looking for the odd toe, you know. It's like, well, that was kind of off right there, but my brother, he's a funny dude, you know. So
would you ever consider trying it out?
What, going barefoot?
Yeah.
I feel like it'd have to be somebody you know that.
I
take your shoes off and sleep loud.
Yeah. He's still operating. I'm just like, okay, want to be the first one to test it out? But I mean, to be honest, and I gotta just be truthful, because of the way I already think about how the shoes go.
Effect,
I probably would never end up going out there barefooted. Only because of the fact that those things, like those little intricate things, really play a difference. Yeah. Play a difference. So it's kind of like if you go out barefooted, it's kind of like it is what it is or it's not. You know, it's like there's no fine line. But with performance shoes, you can kind of say, because of all these little intricate things within the shoe, that's why the performance went the way it went. You know, instead of relying on being barefooted out there.
Yeah, he just didn't really have a choice.
Yeah. Probably the coolest unplanned thing that he could ever do, right? Is to show up there with no shoes. Wow, it was funny. It was a funny time.
I'm sure everybody was like, "Whoa, look at him! He's got no shoes. What is he doing now?"
Yeah. No, a lot of people were messaging me during the fight. They're messaging me like, "Your brother went out there with no shoes." And this is more like people from Hawaii, right? Not people from California or wherever. These are people from Hawaii, and they're like, "Hey, sorry, the moke has to come out. Oh, your brother. Oh, he's real rooted, right?" I'm thinking in my head, I was like, "What you mean, bro?" He's like, "Yeah, you see how he is? He's out there. He's representing." Toes to the ground. And I'm thinking, it's like, okay, brother. He's like, he forgot his shoes, right? That's the only reason why he came out toes to the ground, right? For real. Hey, he should come out like that all the time now. Whatever floats his boat, whatever floats his boat. I'll let him make that decision. I bet you the next time you see him, he's not going to forget his shoes.
Do you think he'll go another time around with no shoes on again? Or?
Well, we're about to find out because he's on the same card as me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
they're both on the
he's
same
fighting.
card.
He's fighting Wesley Drain. Drain, yeah.
Would you try it?
No.
What about
no? Because for me, no. Because for me, it's more of like. Originally, they put us in sweatpants and a big baggy shirt. So it was like I have to wear this in front of all these people. The only thing that shows any kind of style is your hair and your shoes.
Right.
Like, that's the only way that you can kind of show your personality.
Uh-huh.
So for me, that's the reason that I go with the crazy shoes. And thank God I bitched and complained to them, and they changed our outfits. But now it's like a competition. Whoever has the best shoes.
Yeah, I've been seeing that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's customized shoes, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay, well, because that's a main focal point, right? Is everybody
Well,
looking? It's
everybody's
like,
looking at your feet.
what is it? What's the shoes looking like up there? So.
Yeah, Nike, come on. I
Right.
need some.
Sponsorship there.
I need some cool Nikes.
That's the truth.
Yeah,
So you think we will see a third?
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be.
Yeah.
I knocked her out, the most vicious knockout that
Yeah.
anybody's seen from the female perspective. I get disqualified, so I lose the match.
Mhm.
We come back. She drops me. She wins a decision. So she lost a point in the first round because she clubbed me. She drops me. I recover. We go all 3 rounds.
Mhm.
People want to see her knock me out.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what they want to see because I did it to her.
Right.
So I think there has to be a third. And with everything that I'm changing and doing, technique-wise, because honestly, I wasn't that invested in power slapping. I did it because I needed a foot in the door for the UFC.
Right.
Everybody knows that. Dana knew that the day that I took the appointment and sat down with him. I said, the only reason that I'm doing this is because I want to fight. And now with my perspective was like, hey, let me just do this once. And obviously it went really well for me, even with the disqualification. Like they saw that, oh shit, she can knock people out.
Oh, definitely.
So they kept bringing me back, and I was like, oh, I don't know how long I want to do this. And obviously I can do both. I fought and I competed power slapping. I did 3 fights and 4 power slaps in 12 months. So very active.
Super active.
And I'm not going to be able to do that into my 40s, obviously. So I would like to go to the UFC, fight, and continue to power slap. Like, I can do both, you know, as long as it's timed right and, you know, I stay healthy and everything kind of falls into place like it did the last 12 months. But definitely, there's definitely going to be a third match between me and her. And I think with everything that I've changed training-wise, taking it a little bit more seriously, working with him, kind of changing how I look at the entire swing and kind of break everything down like he does, I think I can knock her out clean this time.
Oh yeah.
So
I agree.
This match,
definitely needs to be a third.
This match that just passed, I seen you kind of change your technique because previous matches
did.
I had never seen you do that.
Mhm.
What do you guys call it? That one on one
The
slap?
lean,
On one.
yeah,
The
yeah.
lean on one.
The lean
Yeah,
on
okay.
one, yeah.
Oh wow.
So
that's different. Okay.
the Hawaiians created the lean on one.
Oh yeah.
And I literally didn't know anything about it. Like, a couple of the guys were doing it in the back. 10 minutes before, I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to change the way that I slap.
She is
did.
so game.
I went out
So
there
game.
and I was like, let me just see how this goes.
10
And,
minutes.
Like,
guys.
10 minutes before I ever went on the stage, they were doing it. And I was like, let me try it. So I tried it a couple times in the back and I was like, fuck it, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So I went out there and that's what I did. And for me, it was good because I did it in competition, and it's hard to change, like, the way that you're comfortable doing something in competition to something completely different,
Right.
especially with 10 minutes practice.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, definitely.
So I'm glad that I did it. It took a lot of my power away, but every single slap was clean.
Right.
I didn't club. I didn't step. I didn't, lose any points in that area, but I lost my power. So training and actually practicing it and fine-tuning and tweaking a couple of things, I should be able to have the power and the clean slap. And
That's insane.
yeah,
Can't
That's
wait.
it.
so
That's something
Can't wait.
basically practice on your next match as well, or it was just like a one-time thing, try it out.
no. So
Get familiar with it.
the way that I'm training and who I'm training with and everything, it's changed the way that I'm gonna slap. So my slap is gonna look different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see that left hand though.
Yeah, I'm nervous to
Oh,
switch.
you will.
I've seen
Not only-
it.
not
I've
only-
seen it.
not
I've seen
only-
it, and it's crazy because she adapts to it immediately. Like, it's not like
Something natural.
she has to do like 1, 2, or 3 to be able to pick up the same style and technique that I was teaching her on the right side, right? It's
So
like,
it was easy for me to like be coachable, like pick up what he was teaching me and do it right away instead of like, oh, I have to show you this a million times for you to like understand what it is. So I was able to pick up what he was showing me, which is definitely going to benefit me.
And I
But-
think that has a lot. Sorry, it has a lot to do with your fighting
yes.
Yeah.
experience.
Mhm.
You know, so that plays a big.
I
role in
also,
that, too.
my perspective, because I do coach high school wrestling,
Right.
and I was coached by my parents, and I'm always open to learning. If I'm like closed off and like I know everything and I don't need your help, I'm never gonna progress.
Right.
So just to go to him and be able to be like, oh shit, like I'm brand new, like teach me all the stuff that you know, and be able to like soak it
sponge.
in, like that's beneficial as an athlete. So
Yeah, so the left hand, the right hand we practice, right, and could try to dial it in, and then she's like, "Well, I'm not even right-handed, I'm left-handed," and I'm like, "Wait, what?" She's like, "Well, we gotta see this, right? It's like you can't just say you're left-handed and then we not see it.
yeah,
So let's see what that looks like." And with all the teachings, immediate, and I just being the
Right.
a coach, I can tell. So as soon as she cracks that one time, I was like, "Hey, do this and then do that." And he's like, "Okay." Bah! And I hear it, and I start. I'm in the back. I got the camera like this, and I'm like, "Woo!" Like we got something working now. He's like, "That thing is strong." It's like that. You whack like that with the left hand. And he's like, "Yeah, but I just don't use it. I really just go to the right hand just because the fact that I know what this does already."
Right.
And it's like the left hand is just wild. Just like you said, it's just wild. It doesn't have
I might
accuracy.
miss you completely.
It
I
doesn't
don't
have
know how
accuracy,
it's gonna go.
But it's got power. And I was
Yeah.
like, that's the one we got to focus on,
Yeah.
right? So it's like being able to have that as that solid, just okay,
Yeah.
bam, I hit him with that, and then I slow roll him with the next.
So
Yeah.
It's
would
like
you
being
say
able to have
that you would use your left hand on this up and coming if you do the third?
Depends on how much time I have to practice.
True.
So I'm not set for another power slap. I have a fight, obviously, in
Right,
April.
right.
So I think with training and practicing with it and fine-tuning the accuracy of it, I know the power's there.
Right.
Fine-tuning the accuracy and feeling comfortable,
With it?
knowing, hey, every time I swing it, it's going to hit the spot that I want it to hit,
Mhm.
then, yeah, I mean, I'm open to doing it. So,
She changed her style in
Yeah.
the last
In
10 minutes,
yeah.
you know. So she's definitely open. If they let her hit her with the foot, she probably would.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah,
they
you
allow
can
you
always
guys to like
change-
switch off
You
during
you
the
can always
competition?
switch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can switch
I
back
can
and forth.
say, hey, I'm going right on one, and then the next one, hey, I'm going left on one.
Oh,
You
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, you have that choice.
I feel sorry for
That's
your
why they ask us
contender.
every round what hand on what
The
count.
switch up.
Imagine walking out with both sides of your face all swelled up.
Yeah, I
like
mean,
that.
obviously that's the goal.
Looking like that guy from the Goonies.
Because honestly, if you think about it, if you're hitting somebody on this side and it's doing this to their brain, then you come back and you hit them on this side and it's going this way, like, I mean, at some point they're going
bad
out.
You
for
could,
her.
yeah.
I feel bad
I feel
for
the
her.
pain
That's
already,
just-
right?
yeah, like, fuck,
A lot of shifting happening.
Yeah.
And when you fight, do you do both stance or?
No, I stay orthodox.
Oh, okay.
I stay orthodox because that's the way that I shoot.
Got
And
it.
obviously every fight for me is like, okay, I can stand up with you, but I don't really want to.
Yeah.
I want to take you down and beat you up on the ground. So
Right.
my stance is guided to what I'm trying to do, which is
Got it.
the shot.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
It's insane. I
That's
can't
gonna be
wait.
Crazy.
yeah.
I hope you use both hands next time.
I might be the first person to one and the other.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, they look at it a little bit differently too. You know, like when you start listening to the comment in the back with like Michael Bisping, it's like,
Yeah,
what are they doing? Why are they switching and going to the opposite side of the face?
Yeah.
You've done a lot of damage on this side of the face. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but you got damage there. It's great. Like, but at the end of the day,
what's the brain
it's
doing?
it's your brain. It's
Yeah.
your chin. You know, it's like if I can whack you this way and spin it that way, of course. It's like, well, if I can do the same thing going this way,
Yeah,
it's gonna mess you up. It's not you are, and especially with us being so used to that way, right? Oh, I know it's coming from the right, so I just gotta.
but
Right?
it's also a mental thing.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
see, okay, right on whatever, and then you come with the
And they
left.
go,
They're like,
"Left."
oh shit.
What?
Oh.
I'm not used to bracing for this side.
right.
Yeah.
You know,
Correct.
So it's like your brain's
Wow.
like, oh God, what am I gonna do?
Right.
They're coming with a different hand,
Right.
like so it's
Yeah.
it's definitely a mental thing too.
Yeah. It plays into it for sure.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
That is so crazy. Yeah, I hope you use both.
Yeah.
Maybe throw roundhouse kicks.
The goal is one and done here.
Right, right,
Get them
right,
with
right.
one and
Yeah.
get out of there.
We don't go into rounds to
Yeah,
practice,
I
right? It's
know.
like we just get it done that first hit.
Yeah.
I seen your opponent's face when you went and changed it up to that one on one.
Yeah.
I seen her like I don't know if it was just me tripping out, but I had seen her face like,
Yeah.
like what the hell?
Yeah, because it was different. I always have gone on 3.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, the going on 3, like I'm overthinking. I'm like, as I'm winding up, I'm like, okay, don't move your feet. Okay, hitting the right spot. Like I'm getting in my own head
Right.
instead of just going on 1, and it's okay. I don't have time to overthink everything.
Right.
So that's kind of why I switched it up to the 1. And I just was more comfortable going on 1.
Yeah.
I went on 3 because everybody else was going on 3, you know.
Oh.
And I kind of walked in to doing Power Slap 2 weeks prior to the very first time that I did it.
Yeah.
So it was like I just kind of followed what everybody else was doing instead of what was best.
Finding your
Finding what was
way.
best for me.
Right.
I just think that the more you do it, the more you're gonna adjust,
Oh, of course.
and you're gonna find the power on both hands
Yeah.
with the proper coaching as well.
Right.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm. Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Talking about coaching, Isaiah wasn't in your corner.
He wasn't.
I was
Brandon
like-
was in my corner. I love Brandon. I love Isaiah. I love them both. But I am closer to Brandon because his kids wrestle. Like we're in that same like family of wrestling. So for me, it's like I talk to him more. I interact with him more. Like it was more comfortable for him to be in my corner, anyways.
Right.
Yes, I love Isaiah, and he's super close, and he's the champ. But he actually texted me the other day when we were out at dinner.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
was, I guess he had watched 10 back and saw that I was like cheering on Brandon in the audience. And he got so butthurt.
Oh.
He was so upset that I was cheering for Brandon. And I'm like, hey, dude, I love you too. But like, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm just closer to him.
With there's more things that you relate to with
Right.
Brandon. So
Yes.
that's just what it is. But we're all, at the end of the day, it's more of
It's
like,
all-
there's an open friendship for
Right.
all of
Yes,
us. You know,
Right.
so,
100%.
yeah, same thing.
And I think it's harder when all of you guys are friends and then you have to,
Yeah.
you know,
Of course.
slap your friend. I mean, I want to slap this guy all the time, but
You're like, but for free.
Yeah, not getting paid for it.
Checking my power levels in my hands. He's on.
But yeah, I think it's just the amount of professionalism that you guys have just to be up there, knowing that you just had maybe dinner with this guy and just going in there and whacking him. I mean, that just takes a lot and just a lot of focus. And I mean, I just see it like I was saying, you know, as you guys walk, you guys are locked in.
Yeah.
I mean, you just block everything out.
You have
and,
to.
and just do your thing, and that's amazing. I mean, I don't think I can. On the real, I don't think we can slap, or I can slap Lalo. Like I don't know how you guys do it. Like,
And be friends
Be
after.
friends after.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Have you faced an opponent that's like close to you, either in UFC or you in Power Slap? Or
Not usually. So for me, for fighting, I don't become friends with the person until after. Like we're not buddy. We're not sitting there hanging out prior to the fight.
Mm-hmm.
But after we have fought, like yes, we can be friends. We can hang out. We
Right.
can text or talk or call. So I kind of have implemented that into power slapping. Like I'm not with the girls. Like I'll hang out with the guys. Like I don't have to compete against you.
Right,
you know,
right,
whatever.
right.
But with the girls, mainly it's like we're not friends before.
Right.
You know, we're here to do a job. We both signed a contract to do this job. Like I don't want to have any type of feeling like, oh fuck, I don't really want to slap this person that hard. You know, I want to feel like, yes, I want to rip your fucking head off, and then we can go have a beer afterwards.
Right,
you know,
right.
so it's like
The
that's just my
intensity.
mentality.
Right.
And I did that with wrestling for 20 years. Like I wasn't your friend. You know, like we're here for a job. Then we can be friends after if you want to be friends. And the only person that hasn't want to be friends was Sheena. So, you know, I'm okay with one less friend. Whatever.
Yeah.
have you had anybody approach you like before a match, or basically previously before the match, knowing you're gonna compete against her, trying to like befriend you? Like,
No.
hey, no?
I don't give off the persona like you want to approach me.
You're more like back up off.
I don't. I really don't. I don't. I'm not like an
The
approachable.
face shows it all. It's
I'm
like,
not.
what?
I don't look
No,
approachable.
not.
So it's like they just don't
Yeah.
try.
They
you
don't
know?
want to risk
Oh,
it.
yeah.
He doesn't look so friendly.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta stay away from that one. So we'll wait till later. We'll wait till the
Yeah.
we'll wait till the after
till
the
after
after
the
dinner.
after party,
or,
yeah.
Oh, man, that's crazy. By the way, do you guys have after parties after?
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dana
Yeah.
White like takes the entire high limits area for
He
whatever
does.
casino we're in.
Oh, nice.
It's an open bar. Everybody gambles together. We get to hang out with all the celebrities, him,
Converse, yeah.
everybody.
Oh, cool.
Just
Cool.
kind of
cool.
have like a decompress, fun
yeah,
time.
just kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm your +1 in this.
Yeah.
There you go. Come on.
Yeah. Come on.
You guys are all my
If you
plus
guys are
ones.
there,
We
come
all
on
can
in.
go in there and just
Yeah.
enjoy it. Trust me.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
it's usually all the power slappers though, like
Yeah,
all the
everybody
power
goes.
slap the competitors,
Mhm.
and then majority of the gamblers are all the influencers, right?
Yeah.
They're just like kind of just around in that general
Yeah,
area.
they just want to interact with you.
Right.
Dana always shows up for. He does his like little
20
posts.
minutes.
He'll show up for 20, 30 minutes. He'll
And then-
gamble, and then he's like out of there because
Yeah.
when he is in there, it's like
It's money.
it's chaos. Though.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
everybody is like
Yeah.
around him,
Business
so it's
season.
like
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be there for that
It's
long
kinda-
either.
yeah,
You know,
Guys,
And then he normally has the UFC
the next day.
The
Right
next
after.
day,
Yes.
so it's
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
it just makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean,
but anytime for him to gamble, he's down.
Yeah.
You know.
but he's definitely. I mean, as much as he calls himself a degenerate or whatever. He's a very smart man.
Yeah, and
Like,
he's lucky too.
You understand that
wins.
like over time in the casino, you lose your money back.
Right.
This guy knows. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20
Get
minutes. The higher the increment. I mean, even being at Power Slap 10 and being able to watch him gamble.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's shooting $200,000 hands.
Yeah, it's
It's
crazy.
like, wow, okay.
Right.
But I get his concept because it's like, okay, well, I only need to do 3 hands.
Right.
I'm up almost close to $1 million. And I can clock out.
Yeah.
Everybody, you guys have fun. See you guys later.
Yeah.
Gilvan, see you guys later. Thank you guys. All right. Count my chips, please. And he's gone.
That's it.
He's out the back door. He's not even walking out through the front. He's walking out through the back door and
Yeah.
he's gone. So it's like, okay.
That's me after losing $20 at the casino.
I know. I put $20 into a machine and I lose it. I'm not gambling the rest of the time. Like, I'm
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. But it's overall it's a good experience because
It is.
everybody's over there talking
fun.
and you really get to understand the people in the room.
Mhm.
And with his level, he brings some solid people in there for
Yeah.
be able to interact with. And
Oh, yeah,
I mean, you're
definitely.
talking about all the social media guys.
Yeah.
every-
And the cool
every
thing
single
about
person.
him too is that as big as he is and as rich as he is, he's a pretty low key, mellow
Yes,
dude. Like
I agree.
to have this person as your boss and he's just like shoots the shit with you, it's a pretty cool experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I agree.
And it keeps it like fun too.
It keeps us wanting to slap the shit out of people. Keeps us wanting to come back, you know?
Yeah, true. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So, would you guys ever be friends then? You and Sheila?
You know what? It's funny because like after she dropped me in the second round, I don't remember anything.
Mhm.
I don't remember recovering, getting up, slapping her again. Like I don't remember if I won or lost. I had no idea.
Wow.
And I get back to the hotel and I don't know what's happening at the hotel. I don't remember a lot of stuff that happened.
Right.
And I go back and I'm like looking through my pictures and me and her took a picture together
Oh,
at the
wow.
hotel.
Oh,
So
wow.
apparently we're friends right now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's part of getting hit and,
Right.
and sometimes just not remembering, a block of time. And
Right.
But yeah, we took a picture, so I guess we're friends right now.
There we go.
But there will definitely be a third match.
Now, say a hit compared to the power slap hit compared to the UFC hit, which one feels a little harder?
Obviously, getting punched hurts worse, but the difference is power slap, you know that you have to stand there and take it.
Yeah.
You can't move, you can't roll, you can't slip it. With fighting, you're getting hit a lot more, but when you punch me and I roll my chin, it takes a lot of the heat off of the punch. You can't do that with slapping, so
Right.
you have to eat all of their power. So I would rather get punched, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'd rather get punched than slapped. In those two different arenas, I would rather be in an MMA fight then power slap.
Yeah, I kind of would do the same after getting the slap, though. 30%
Yeah.
slap from me. I'm like,
That wasn't what 30, dude. That was like 10%.
that was not.
Hey,
This
the
is
next
like-
interview it's gonna be that was 60%.
It increases as we go.
Yeah, we say 30%.
Every time he keeps telling everybody, yeah, Emmanuel slapped me at like 75%.
Yeah, but you got 30. You didn't get 30, dude. You got like 10%.
Whatever.
He's like,
I got
ah.
200.
I got 200%.
He's like, I couldn't remember anything.
No, I didn't say all that. I didn't say all that.
I lost all memory. For me, it's a little bit different. I would rather take the slap than go out there and get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Even though if I have the opportunity to be able to move around, and like I said before, I've never had that moment where I've done it professionally and been able to go into the octagon and fight like that. So I don't understand what it's like to do that, but it's more of I've been in a lot of sparring matches, right? You know, like warming up and getting into that moment. So I mean, I've taken hits during that time, so it's almost similar. And I really feel that the slap is a lot easier. I mean, at one point in time, it's just more of like, okay, well, you know it's coming, so just bite down and ride the lightning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's like you just gotta accept it, and I feel like it's a lot just implementing the right things too.
Yeah.
Right. Is like that's a big part of it. If you're implementing the right things and not going out there and just kind of giving it where what we call it is the freebie, right? It's kind of chin out.
Yeah.
I'm solid, I'm tight here, but I'm just all the way chin out. Just go ahead and hit me.
Yeah,
You
don't
know,
do that.
there's a lot of it's different. You know, it's like if you have a strategy to it, then it's a little bit different. Then you start thinking about, okay, well, yeah, of course. If like right now, if I teach you guys all like a basic like defensive strategy,
Let's go, Lalo.
you're going to be more confident.
Yeah.
You're going to be more
100%.
confident, right? And unless you're just standing there and then okay, well, you hit him, bam, you hit him. And it's like, well, he didn't know what to do to brace himself and do all these other things, right? But now you got that knowledge in your head. Oh, okay, this is how you brace. This is how you do all these things. Then it changes the game. Then it makes you accept what it is. Like, oh, well.
I think
a
too. I
slap is
think
easier.
that way about the fighting because I've been pretty successful at fighting,
Yeah.
and I haven't taken a lot of damage. Like if you see me come out of my fights, like the worst that I did was to myself, and I cut my eye open here because when I shot, my face hit the cage, and it cut me. So I think that way because like I can move and like you're not even hitting me, you know. But slapping, I have to stand there and like let you.
Would you rather get hit on one or have them have your opponent take their time and
I'd rather
measure them?
I would rather they slapped on 3 because I know like how I was on 3. Like I'm thinking all these things and I want them to think all those things and like maybe it takes away from their slap because I know going on 1 obviously it works. He does it. All the people that are knocking people out go on 1. Darren Godfrey goes on 1. Knocks people out gnarly.
My brother goes on 1.
He goes on 1. His brother goes on 1.
Tyler Gross goes on 1.
Tyler Gross goes on 1. So it's like
That's a bunch.
as I'm watching and seeing like the growth of the sport and how things are changing, like people going on 1 are a little bit more successful.
Yeah.
You know.
Gives a surprise factor.
Yeah.
I would have just thought you guys would probably be like, man, just come on, get it over with, slap me, let's go, my turn.
Yeah. And I like that. I like it that way too, right? It's like, okay, well, if I swing on 1 and you swing on 1 too, well then I already know what's coming.
Right.
So I don't have to wait for, oh, he's winding up. Okay, 2. All right, now it's 3. Okay, now I gotta brace.
Right.
Yeah.
Or now I gotta clinch. Or now I gotta do this. And it's like, well, you're going on 1. I'm clinched up already, guy. Just go ahead. Send it. And once you send it, it's over. I'm gonna recollect all my thoughts in, walk to the powder, come right back at you, and I'm gonna hit you. So I like that other people are using the 1, especially if they're gonna use it on me, right? The 1 they wanna, I got the better 1. Right. I got the better hit on 1, and I'm like, okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see how good that really is. It's like I'll test that out. I'll even flinch for you and let you hit me twice. Right. I'll even flinch for you, let you hit me twice. So that way, we really dial in, and then now you're gonna understand.
Yeah.
Once it's done and you got your turn, it's my turn.
Yeah. For
And
me,
now,
like
I've just turned killer on.
the defense is, I just close my eyes. So it's like I wait for your wind up. I watch. Okay, you're doing 1, 2. When you come back for 3, I close my eyes and I bite down. So it's like I would rather that than going on one because then I have to step up to the podium like, okay, brace the entire time.
Gas. Yeah,
go.
you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Pono, going back to the shoe thing. Sorry, it's just I keep thinking
Go
about
ahead.
it. No, so everybody has like custom shoes. Would you ever, if the opportunity was given to you, like make a whole shoe specially for slapping? Would you ever do that?
Oh yeah, because I already have in my mind. I already have the measures of what that would look like, right?
Yeah.
It's just like,
That's
okay, well,
cool.
I know exactly what needs to be done in that shoe to be able to like really make it powerful, and it's only been that because the shoes that I've been getting has already been made specifically
Yeah.
for
For
that,
something,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, so it's like once they, if I could give like, hey, you should do this with this or that with this and just kind of change it a little bit, and they make a custom shoe for me like that, oh my gosh, people watch out. You thought it was deadly with just me doing this, and now with the right proper tools.
Yeah.
You need all the right tools in your toolkit, so that way at any point in time you can just boop and pull out that tool.
Yeah.
You need a screwdriver? Bam, I got it. Need flathead? I got it. And you got to have all the proper tools. It's key.
Wow.
It's key in this stuff.
Also for us as athletes, this is not a long-term sport.
Yeah.
It's not. You're
Short.
getting hit in the head 3, 5 times, however many times you're doing it a year. Like, this is max 3, 4 years that you're doing this, if that.
Right.
And we have to create, the platform that we're on is huge. We have to create outside income for ourselves. Like, you create a fucking shoe for Power Slap.
There we
You
go.
know,
Right.
We have to create, we have to be entrepreneurs. We have to create
Right.
outside income because it is an income for us.
Right.
And it's
Visionary.
very small
Right.
amount of time. So we have to create other things that are going to create income for us using this platform.
Correct.
So I think a lot of athletes don't think about it that way, and a lot of them are younger, so they're just happy to be there.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm trying to create other things that are going to create income for me and my family
Right.
using Power Slap.
Yeah.
So Nike hit them up.
Yeah,
Right.
Nike
Yeah.
I'll
you
create a
want me to create that
Nike
Nike
shoe.
shoe? I got you.
There
Trust
we
me.
go, there we go.
Trust me. I'll put all the work in that thing.
Or
you know.
Under Armour. Dwayne did it with Under Armour too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I also have, well, everything's coming out today, right? I also have some tools that we're in the thought process, right? And it's like, well, if just for the training purposes, what makes it easier to train the way I do without having to really go through that whole entire step process of showing you this, showing you that, showing you that. I mean, you get more out of it when it
100%.
becomes that way, but what kind of equipment can I create to be able to start teaching those certain things,
Yeah.
right? So
Where you don't have to be there, that it's like the coaches that they
Right.
assign could show,
yes,
like,
yeah, because
this is the way that
at
it
one
needs
point
to
in
be.
time, the teacher doesn't stay the teacher, right? It's
Right.
just going to be okay. Well, I pass on the knowledge to you.
Yeah.
Now you become the teacher, and I just kind of become the observer. I
Yeah.
watch you as you train other people, right?
Yeah.
And just be as if there's a little step that goes off, guide it right back to the path and send it on its way, right?
Yeah.
So entrusting in the other people to be able to teach that skill set and mindset, and also the technique and everything else is huge for me. And I've been able to really like open up that idea box of like, okay, well, I know how I train,
Right.
so if I had something like this to be able to do these things, well, I'll just be a sharper tool.
Right.
Okay, well, let's try to look into what I need to do for that, because I already use certain equipment to be able to get like full range of motion, all these other things, and then trying to incorporate and put them together.
Right.
Oh, okay, well, I use a stick to do this, and then I use this spring-loaded thing to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, geez, if I take the stick and I put the spring load together, slap that into one piece,
Yeah.
There we go.
now I have a multiple use tool that I can just do everything with it.
Right.
And along the way, training and doing everything else has opened up other doors, right? So like when this last week when Jackie came to train with me, we went to a spot, another gym that solely focuses on the things that you really need to be able to be successful in the sport, and just finding almost in any sport, right, Jackie?
Yeah.
Just because of the fact that it's so well rounded.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't even think that those movements are key until you start practicing, and then you learn that, oh wow, I got
This is why I'm doing this.
right. I got a
Yeah,
solid
shit.
base here. I got this motion where I can, which is like the coiling core type of motion where it's like, you know, in this sport, your lats,
Right.
and
Yeah.
and the serratus is like the main muscles,
Yeah.
because it's all it's a rotational sport.
Right.
So you got to understand that when you lock up here, and the things that you do to make this stay real solid and tight all the way here, I mean, I can already feel it just by doing this. Like you bring your elbow down behind your back and you try to squeeze it, and think about dropping your shoulder to your hip, like squeezing like this. Try to feel the side of your rib cage. You're gonna feel all that being super tight, right? Almost just at that coil, getting ready to release. And so now I know, okay, well, I tighten here, and whang! That explosion, that explosion motion right there is immediate. That's what's gonna cause that jaw shifting power.
Yeah.
Just from having that coil. So there's a lot of little training things that we've been able to introduce and practice, and it's opened up our eyes, right, Jackie?
100%.
Of just
Yeah.
how more efficient can I be
Right.
in this sport? How stronger can I be in the sport? How more accurate can I be in the sport? And what do we do to get those things?
Right.
Now it becomes the mad scientist in the lab putting this together, put that together, take this, boot that, remove that out of there, put that there.
Yeah.
And then now you just have what I call like that kinetic chain of movement. And it's like, okay, well, and it has to be done all in one, right, Jackie?
It does.
You can break them down slowly, piece by piece by piece by piece by
You
piece.
break them down to understand.
to understand why.
But you have to put them
Short
all together.
distance, long distance, and then after that, as you practice, you shove all that together.
Yeah.
Boom. And by the time everything makes that connection, I mean, it should be picture perfect.
Right.
My hand touching your face, elbow locked in, this is locked in, the torque of that turn, and everything. If everything touches at the same time, I mean, it's going to create fireworks, immediately. It's going to just pop right off. But you'll see it where, if it doesn't do that, you don't do all those little pieces,
You miss
and
one.
you miss
little
one
step.
little piece,
Yeah.
you're going to get poof and nothing. And you're like, oh, well, I messed up on that.
Yeah.
Now I
Now
gotta
I gotta get
eat one.
Yeah.
Now I gotta eat one to try again.
Yeah.
And it's like, and when you eat one, if you got a proper defense, you're gonna be able to last through it.
Yeah.
If you don't have a proper defense, your battery level goes down.
Yeah.
And you just gonna keep on going down. And
Yeah.
the more hits you take, the more your battery drops.
Right.
And you don't want that's why we want to end this really fast, quick,
Right.
and in a hurry. We want you off that stage immediately.
Yeah.
I want a minute and a half success.
Yeah.
I don't
Not
want
only
I
that,
don't
it's-
want 3 minutes, 4 minutes of battling, right? I just
You want the viral knockouts. You want them.
Oh, definitely.
yeah.
People.
Yeah.
That's what people want to see.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
are scrolling, and that's all they don't watch the entire
No,
match.
yeah.
Right.
They look at the little clip that you're knocking this person out.
Yeah.
And I mean, it makes sense that you guys, like you said, like you're developing all this stuff because just because you guys are athletes right now and you have like you said, like 3 to
It's a
4
very
years,
small window. Yeah.
that doesn't mean that this sport's gonna stop.
No,
there's
it's gonna be new people.
all these new
Yeah.
people coming in, and they're not gonna know everything that you already went through,
Right.
everything that you guys already figured out.
Yeah.
You know, so
Well, we
that's
want the
really cool.
sport to excel. Obviously, when the
Yeah.
UFC first started, you watch those first fights and it's like, what the hell are they
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah.
They had no idea what they were doing.
Confusion.
You know what I
It's
mean?
confusion out
So
there.
we want the sport to excel. We don't want new people coming in and being like we were, like, oh shit, what do I do?
Yeah,
and
beginner
trying to have to
status.
start over. We want the sport to excel. We want the sport to keep moving forward. So leaving like how he does, like he's open to teaching people the way that he does it.
Yeah.
And the way that he does it obviously works, So it's like we want to be able to teach people,
That's really cool.
Kind of living the blueprint.
yeah,
Yeah.
leave it
Yeah.
for everybody else.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people within the sport is more of like, they think about it like, okay, well, I got to hold all the cards in my hand because
Right.
as soon as I start giving out all these little like
People are gonna
little
start
things
using
and
it.
intricate details and all the other stuff, well, people start to pick it up. And, the biggest worry, and even with my wife, she's like, well, you start giving out all this information, is like, sooner or later somebody's gonna use that against you.
Yeah.
And I tell her just like how I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I hope they do.
Right.
Yeah.
I really do. I hope they do, because the one thing that nobody has is me.
Right.
Exactly.
And I'm the that deciding factor. Same thing with Jackie. Once she learns,
Yeah.
she's the deciding factor, because she understands it a little bit more, to where it's on the spot decision making, on the spot changes. Everything else plays into that.
Right.
And that's the one thing that everybody don't have, is that you just can't be me.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I think it's completely different
Right.
than a lot of people that go out there and deliver slaps and do all these other things. I think so much outside of the box is ridiculous. Where it's like at this moment, it became less of a hobby and more of an obsession. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with it, to where I stay up in the middle of the night and I think about all these crazy things to do, and I rehearse a lot of the stuff. I go through people's slaps. I watch. I mean, you talk about somebody that's a real studier of the craft. I study. I watch everybody's matches, whether it's Jackie's fight, and I mean it's a women's division. Why would Pono watch women's fights, right?
Exactly.
It's like, because I'm a studier.
Yeah.
I study every single piece of it,
Yeah.
because no matter, I can take something from everybody.
Right.
And that's the good thing about me. It's like, oh, okay, I see that. Well, that's a little
I could
intricate
use
thing.
that. That's
You can
good.
use that.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if a girl's using it or a guy's using it.
Right.
I can use that. Okay, next person, I can use that too. Then you start to watch people, how they receive the slaps.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start to be that person that's more open-minded to seeing and studying the craft, it's going to open other doors for you. It's
Yeah.
going to be able to, obviously sooner or later implement your own little program, be able to do all these other things. And that's just like Jackie said, we really are trying to, like, the people that are coming into it,
Yeah.
we don't want you to just come into it and be like, oh, well, it's going to be
Yeah.
going to be you versus you,
Yeah.
and you don't know how to slap and he doesn't know how to slap, so this is going to be a great fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, it does. You get a lot of viral knockouts because people don't understand how to brace. So okay, now he might be a little bit stronger than you, so he hits you and you knock out. It's like, okay, we see that stuff, but then the sport will never progress.
Right.
And what you want to do is you want to be able to progress the sport and be able to bring the professionalism side of it.
Right.
It's like there's a transition of like almost like WWE style, like your performance when you go out there and you're like, oh, and you're doing all these things and all these like shaking hands and doing
Yeah.
all this stuff. It's like there's that big part of the performance, and then you have that real, like the actual performance
Right.
itself. How you go out there with your technique. How does it look? Have you been practicing it?
Yeah.
It's a lot of this is all repetition. Like we have that conversation all the time. It's repetition.
Yeah.
You cannot go out there, and you don't have to go and swing 100%, right, and hit the
Right.
bag with all that power every single time
Just
just
the
to
right
understand it.
technique.
But you just
Over
gotta
and over.
go slower. You gotta be more patient. You just gotta think about what you're really doing out there and how you adjust everything. How you're gonna be able to change the game. You know.
Yeah, and that's
That's
so
it.
awesome that you guys are willing to pass that on, because, like, kind of like you said right now, like, a lot of people, just keep it all in, you
Yeah.
know, but it's so awesome that you guys are doing that and
Yeah.
leaving the blueprint
Yeah.
for those new up and coming.
Well, we don't want this to just be around for 2, 3, 5 years and then, it was a phase.
Yeah.
We want to be the first people that are
Right.
doing power slap, and
That's
we
it.
want it to last like the UFC did. Like, it's still around 25, 30 years later, So,
Mhm.
And it's really cool because you're also educating the spectators as well.
Yeah.
Because everybody thinks that it's like you said,
You're just
it's
slapping
just
each other.
two people
Yeah.
just slapping each other. And I remember at the beginning people being very against it, even fighters. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, what's that? Like they're just smacking each other around
Yeah.
and it's just slapping each other around.
Mhm.
But like knowing that, like you said, like it goes all the way down to your shoes, to the way you're
Yeah.
standing, to your joints, to everything. Like it's insane to think that that much goes into just slapping.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people do that with the UFC, right? Just like
Exactly.
you
This is
transition.
barbaric.
Jiu-jitsu, wrestling, and you have Muay Thai, you have kickboxing, you have so many different arts.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to in your range, you have to learn all these things to be able to perform out there properly. Because if you're a good stand-up person, but then you get taken down,
Right.
well,
you
you're
have
not
no
going to
ground.
survive there,
Yeah.
right? And so, power slap is the same concept, right? It's
Right.
like that's what everybody has to start doing is transitioning into. Yeah, it's the same thing, right? Like I have to practice all these things to be able to become a sharper tool out there and
Right.
be able to work properly. It's like a lot of the people, don't even take into the consideration of like just your overall general fitness.
Right.
Right.
Just your overall general fitness. You go to the gym and being consistency.
Yeah.
Like people do it one time and they think, oh yeah, that's it. It's like, nah, this is the churn. You gotta, it's the consistency, dude. You gotta go to the gym once, twice, 3 times, 4 times a week and really build up. It's not like you have to immediately go in there and just start doing all these crazy things.
Right.
But you have to just do the slow process of building up your strength and building up your power and doing all these other things. And that part, right, takes a dedicated person. There's no lazy in this, and that's where it falls short. Is like, if you're thinking about it differently than what it is, then you're probably not really thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
You're just kind of doing your thing. And it's like there's a part where you have to take that extra step. And lucky for Jackie too is like, even like how she stated before, like she didn't take it as serious with power slap stuff. But the best thing about her is that she fights.
Yeah.
She does MMA. She's a wrestling like guru at a point in time, because she's just like, she knows it's second nature for her.
Yeah.
So then you have somebody like her, where it's the hybrid, right? She's coming in, she understands all those things, and as soon as she applies something to it, she's gonna be a beast. She's a beast already.
Yeah.
So now she's gonna be even more beasty.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right? It's just we gotta continue to keep on building that up, so that way, it's just you create the super warrior, the ultimate soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how you feel about the fight coming up? You ready?
I'm ready.
Have you met your opponent, or have you seen
I've
her?
never met her. She's not from the U.S., but I've watched a couple of her fights, and she's more of just like a brawly type fighter. Like she just comes forward and just throws punches, but it's not really good at one specific thing. Like obviously I'm really good at wrestling, like if you're just walking forward and you're punching, I'm going to take you down.
Right.
So obviously that's where all my fights go, and I don't expect this to be any different. So, it's just a matter of just showing up on the day and being mentally prepared, and I'm a pretty confident person, so I don't think I'm not going to be confident when I step in there. So I see it going my way, probably ending before the 3rd round.
Awesome.
See that too.
Yeah.
When you're fighting a brawler like that, it comes out all wild and crazy, just swinging. What's your approach? Do you just wait and wait for a mistake, or
no? Because honestly, they're dangerous. When somebody comes out and they're brawly like that, you don't know what they're throwing or where it's gonna land. So staying on my feet is dangerous for me against somebody like that, because they could clip you and they could get lucky and knock you out. So for me, it's as soon as she starts throwing haymakers, I'm changing levels and I'm shooting, because I know the type of wrestling that I have and the background of wrestling that I have. Even the best person in the UFC can't stop my takedown.
Wow.
I can take anybody down, and I'm confident that you're not going to be able to defend it. So as soon as you start throwing punches like that, I'm changing levels and taking you down. And then we're going to go from there. Like I'm just not going to stay on my feet with you.
Different ball game.
Yeah. So then, I have that confidence that even the Amanda Nunes, the Julia Pena, the top people at 135 or 145 in the UFC couldn't defend my takedown. So.
Well, it's the same thing with Henry Cejudo, right?
Yeah.
In the UFC, like nobody could stop his takedown.
Yeah.
Like everybody.
And it's
was
funny
just...
too, because me and him actually carpooled to high school together.
Oh, no way.
We both lived at the Olympic Training Center. We both lived at the
She's in
Olympic
that
Training
realm,
Center at the same time. We were both
Wow.
still in high school when we moved to the Olympic Training Center and we're training for the Olympics.
Yes.
So it's like,
Yeah.
how he is exactly the same way that I am.
Yeah, that's
You
so
know?
cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is really tight.
do you still keep in communication with him and all that?
Yeah, every once in a while we'll talk. Yeah. He's very I love him to death, but he's super cringy. So it's like, when you become famous, when you become famous and you become this type of person and you're making this kind of money, sometimes it changes people, and unfortunately for him, it's changed him a little. So, but it does most people.
How does it feel to see somebody that you used to carpool or even from high school basically be at the same level you're at now?
Oh, he's way above my level. He's
No, but
a
I mean, like, to come up
two-weight
like
class
that.
champ. He's, But yeah, I mean, it's super cool. Like if you're my friend and you're successful, I want to have successful people around me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be like this person that I'm successful and all my friends like
Sucks for
have
you.
to watch me.
Yeah.
You know, I want all my friends to be on the same level. So to see him up there and winning, and it's the same thing. Like, I'm super close with Tatiana, and she just fought for the belt, and unfortunately she didn't win.
Yeah.
But like, I want to have friends that are at that level, that are successful, that are, and not necessarily just fighting or wrestling, like in your life. You know what I mean? So I'm just that type of person that, and that's the way that I was raised. That you surround yourself with people that you want. Like, I want to be successful. I'm not going to surround myself with people that are not, you know? So for me, I want my friends to all be at that level.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and knowing you, I mean, I don't think you ever change. Even if you get at that level, I just don't think you would.
Yeah.
It's just who you are. You know?
Yeah, even just with the small amount of, like, change that's happened with power slapping, I feel like it's kind of made me a little more humble, and, like, kids come up to me and ask for my autograph or picture, and, like, I'm not ever going to tell somebody, no, I'm not going to take a picture with you, or, like, you know, those things. But I coach high school wrestling. Daniel Cormier also coaches high school wrestling. So I'm around him a lot. We're at tournaments at the same time. Like, when kids come up to him and ask him for an autograph, he does not give them the time of day. Yeah, so that's kind of changed my perspective about him, just because, like, you were a D1 wrestler, you were on the U.S. national team, Olympics, all of these things, and then you became this UFC god, and then you do that when you're at a high school wrestling tournament, and kids are like, oh, it's DC. You know, I don't want people to see me that way. So I'm not ever going to tell a kid, no, you can't have my autograph, or you can't this, or you can't that, no matter if I win the belt in UFC. You know what I mean? So, but yeah.
And that's because you stay true to yourself, you know.
Yeah.
And you know where you guys know where you guys come from. You know? So it's just, I think it just humbles you guys even more.
Yeah.
You know, especially because we all have a story. We all know where we come from. You know, so it's just you know, and even then, God has a way of humbling us.
He does.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
So you know, it's
just like now.
yeah. I never say no to any pictures or autographs that they
I never turn those down.
He's like, I give them out, you know?
I give them all the time. But yeah, no, I mean, it's just so awesome and so cool, you know, that, you know, it's, and like I was telling you, it's in you. I don't think you guys will ever do that.
Yeah.
You will change, you know, that's awesome.
That's it. Yeah, I give the shirt off my back.
Yeah.
My wife was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? What am I doing?" He's like, "Yeah, you just gave. Where's that kid at? Right?" He's like, "Why are we trying to find the kid?" He's like, "Oh, you just gave him your fight jersey." Yeah, and what? You know? And I'm thinking in my head, and then when we finally get home, and we watch, I watched the episode with just like Vern Cathy.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I got all these." My memorabilia stuff, and look at this. You see this jersey right here? It's got the jersey, it's got the card, it's got all these things, and I look at him, I was like, oh, smack, you was right, man. He's like,
I should have kept
that. He's like, so we only get one? So I'll just call Power Slap people and be like, hey, just send me a jersey. It doesn't have to be the jersey I fought in. Just send me a jersey that's a fight jersey, you know?
Yeah.
And I just couldn't believe it, and I was like, man, it's like at that moment in time, I was like, dude, I just took off my shirt, just threw it out there, you know? I almost, even the mouthpiece, right? So, hey,
I
don't
did
think
throw
it's
my
different. Don't think it's different.
She did it. She actually.
I did
threw the
throw my
mouthpiece.
first mouthpiece.
I was like,
and somebody got it, and security actually went and got it from them and brought it back to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Which I'm glad that they did.
I think that's one of your favorites too.
It is my,
Because
the very first one.
but that's my heart. You know what I mean?
No,
It's like,
that's awesome.
dude, it can't be any other way. It's
Yeah,
like,
and
I
I
was
think
raised
that's-
differently, you know? It's like,
As somebody that looks up to you, that is just the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
It means way more
to you.
to
It might
whoever
only
else.
be a shirt,
right.
but to them, it's like, wow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah, that's the way I feel. It's like, man, you know what? It's all the gift of giving. It's always been good to me. You know, it's like, and not expecting anything in return.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the big one. It's like even with all this stuff.
I
even,
personally like to frame shirts, so
yeah.
He's got some of mine.
So I know now, right? So I look for you and
Throw
send
it
it your
to you,
way.
He's probably gonna be like, what way did that kid go with that shirt?
He's gonna go buy it from us.
Let me catch him around the corner real quick. It's like, hey, let me get that shirt from you.
So We gotta put some here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely. No, but that's amazing. Like I was saying, it just might be a shirt to you guys, but to other people, it just means the world. Especially because you took the time
Yeah.
to just hand it out and give it to them.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
But
Awesome.
thank you guys for coming.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate you guys. Can't wait to see you win
Thank you, sir.
on the 7th. We'll be there and cheering you on and
Yeah.
There we
seeing
go.
that you're a thing. And I'm pretty sure Jack is gonna be there
I
too.
will be there.
so,
Yes.
I mean, it's just amazing to have you guys here. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys.
Of course.
Love you guys for doing this. And we're gonna go. This is not the last one. We're actually gonna keep doing more. So
Yeah, of course.
thank you guys. Thank you so much. And can't
Thank
wait
you.
to start doing your impression
Now-
for your